I'm Ken Anderson with Distributors. As I travel around the country visiting spray foam contractors, I'm frequently asked what's the best way to change over from open cell to closed or vice versa. Now what that involves is basically changing the B side material out from open to closed or vice versa. The A side can typically be left alone depending on the manufacturer. So check with your supplier to see whether you need to change the A side out or not. Today we're going to talk about the B side. A lot of times guys will just move the transfer pump and start spraying it out. Hopefully they're not spraying it in somebody's house because that's bad foam. The open cell and closed cell resins are not compatible with each other. It'll cause foam shrinkage, pinholing, and all kinds of things. So we don't want to do that. Other guys will take the transfer pump, move it into a new drum, and through their gun, purge that old material out with new material, but they risk contaminating an entire set of material. So we want to avoid that too. So today I want to show you how to do it using compressed air. Now, to do that, I've added a few components to my transfer pump, right between the transfer pump and the hose that goes up to the machine. The first component is a T, and it comes up, and this is the most important part right here. This is the check valve. Now the check valve allows fluid to go in one direction. In this case, we don't want chemical going up, but we do want compressed air to go down. So that's what this check valve will do. Now this is an 1/8 inch check valve. This one I happen to pick up at a local Parker store. But this is going to be important because we don't want to, if your system is under pressure, we don't want any of that chemical going up into our compressed air system. It'll go right into the hose and everything. So this will stop that. The next thing I put on is a ball valve. Not really necessary, but I think it gives me more control when I do this. And the next piece is just a quick disconnect fitting. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use the compressed air to come in here and push all the fluid from the front of the transfer pump out all the way through the transfer hose, through the proportioner, through the spray hose, and back into the drum that you're coming out of. So we can just disconnect our air line from the pump, put it right on here, open the ball valve with our gun off the spray hose. Make sure that we're opening the resin side, not the iso side, back into this drum. So all that fluid will be pushed out by the air back into this drum. Once we have that done, turn off the air valve and let the compressed air come out of the system. Then we can close our valve. We also want to make sure if your system is set up with a return line that goes from the proportioner back to the drum, we want to make sure we purge that out with air too. But you have to know, you have to give the drum a way to breathe when you do that. We don't want to build up air pressure inside the drum. So either loosen the transfer pump so it's just sitting on the drum, or loosen this one up so air can get out. Once we've blown as much of the first chemical out of the system as we can, then it's time to take the transfer pump out of the drum, clean it off as best you can, go into the next chemical. Now, you plug in your air line to the transfer pump and open the valve for the resin side, but do it over a bucket because there's still a little bit of residual chemical in there from the first drum. You don't want to put that into either drum and have contamination. So go into a bucket, but there should be very little material in there that's mixed. Once you get all the chemical out, you can put your gun on, you're ready to go back to work. Remember, anytime you're working with the chemicals, you want to take the proper safety precautions. Wear the gloves, eye protection, and respiratory protection if needed. I'm Ken Anderson with IDI Distributors. Thanks for watching.